And then some of the artists, is it's funny that when you go back and look at, how they started and where they're at, you can still spot it, but they always seem to be getting better.
Oh,
It's.
I disagree. There's some people that get worse with age.
Are you going to name names?
Yeah, I think Frank Miller got worse. See, I don't know if it's worse
Frank
or
Miller.
lazy or what. Also, Neil Adams,
You're right, Neil Adams. I think that was an age thing. I think he just
Gil Kane.
degraded.
Gil Kane. Like, if you look at Showcase 22 Gil Kane
Yes.
versus towards the end, it looks like a preliminary drawing. And I don't know if that's laziness. They don't care. I don't know what it is.
Well, so let's talk about Frank Miller, if you don't mind, just for 1 minute, because I noticed the same thing when you look at what he did. I've been looking at his stuff forever.
Look at like Wolverine Limited #1 versus that new Wolverine where he has like those giant nipples and it's just like, I'm like, what is this?
This might be what we were talking about with Primal, where I get the sense that he's trying to do as much as he can with the least amount of line work. I think he's trying to demonstrate, great design, great emotion with little. He won't do one extra line at all, and it's not to my liking. I'm with you. I just saw a Sabretooth variant cover that he did, and I was like, that's definitely Frank Miller. I know it is, but I like the old Frank Miller.
It could also be he's trying to be more like thought provoking. Maybe like, I'm going to do something so horrendous that people have to look at it and talk about it, right? You go, remember that Spider-Woman variant cover by like I don't remember the artist's name, but it's not a traditional comic book artist. And she's like on the building with like her butt up and everyone's
Oh, it's like she's in a position that's impossible. It shows her,
Exactly.
it shows her front and her back all on one show.
Exactly. And so
I want to say the artist was Yoon, or something. I'm probably wrong.
But that, it's like maybe someone does that because then people talk about it, then it sells more. I don't know. There's that aspect of it. Maybe he's already thought like, I've proven myself as a good artist. I don't need to do anything like this anymore. I can do completely out of the blue stuff,
Yeah.
So I don't know maybe his talent is gone. I don't know. Or he just
These
doesn't
guys,
have-
they degrade.
Yeah.
You lose fidelity in your fingertips, and you still want to create. I mean, this is what happened with Kirby. It's interesting. When I saw Frank Miller at Comic-Con, he didn't look well.
When was this?
I want to say it was.
He's pretty old.
Yeah, it was before COVID-19, maybe the last one before COVID. He is old and he's awesome. He's great to listen to, but he didn't look well. I'll just leave it at that. I said to myself afterwards, I'm like, hey, he might be really sick. So getting any Frank Miller is good, but I agree with you 100%. It just doesn't look anything like his old stuff.
Yeah.
But you look at like John Romita Jr., the people they criticize maybe what he's doing now compared to his older stuff, but he's in that same mold where he's saying a lot with very little line work, and I think it works. I'm a big fan.
There's also artists that change the style. Like Kevin Eastman's changed the style. Like his old Turtles is not the same as his new Turtles. Now, I don't think he's degraded in the fact that he can't draw anymore. I think he's just changing his style. For whatever reason, he's decided to do that. Maybe he's just wants to be different now. I personally don't like it as much.
Yeah.
But I can spot it a mile away.
Oh, Eastman, Eastman, right? It's funny, even though he's changed, we're talking about two artists that we think their stuff has changed tremendously, but we know it's them.
Yep, we know it's them. So, and that's the thing is like they have it there. So like being able to change your style twice, where you can recognize it both times, is also a gift of showing how talented they are.
Yeah.
And coming up with, and that's the crazy thing is when artists come up with a new style that you know it's them and you've never seen before,
Yeah.
right? And that's interesting to me. I always love the artists that are not traditional. Like I consider Jim Lee like a traditional artist. Like he draws it perfect,
Yeah.
right? Perfect drawing,
Yeah.
proportionate. Everything looks, great, perfect, has style. But then the people I love are like Jock, that's like
Oh, yeah, that's
when
cool.
when it's just like not drawn, proportionate. Bill
Sienkiewicz.
Sienkiewicz.
Yeah.
I always say his name wrong.
Yeah.
But like him, like I love like his artwork. Like it's not traditional art. it's just like out of the blue, weird, and like things like
Yeah.
their body, like no body would look like that.
Right.
One arm's longer than the other.
Yeah.
Like I love that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and he's still doing it in a similar way. It's funny. I also like very expressive artwork, but there's an artist that I love right now, and his stuff is very photorealistic. His name is Keifu.
Keifu.
He does. He's currently on Venom. He did a nice run with Christopher Cantwell on Iron Man, but very photorealistic, and I have fallen in love with him. He's from Spain. Have you noticed how many artists from Spain just freaking dominate? It's